freaking know. Did you scoot that chair in?
I did not.
Bro, like, I don't know if you realize, when I say scoot the chair in, I don't mean just scoot over. Okay, maybe. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect! We're good.
Yeah.
Got your full body in there now. Is that the Grim Shake? No, that's the Shamrock.
Yeah, a good one.
Well, bro, I'm gonna need you to speak a little bit up, bro. There's no way the mics are catching that.
Yeah, I said this is the good
I'm
one.
scared to try this.
Alright, let's
It's
start
excellent for 89 cents.
For 89 cents.
Oh, that's how much those are. Exact cost. Yeah.
That's what, because you told him about it. You
No, it's
told
because
him
I
about
bought
it.
I bought myself
remember
a
you
pallet.
told him.
I'm talking about the Shamrock Shake.
No, this was $3.
Wait, you got more than one of those at one time?
What?
I bought a pallet.
A pallet of these.
That's what I'm saying. We're at the Lidl?
Oh no, this was down in Jacksonville. I went to Lidl in Jacksonville, and I was like,
My Lidl, they only sell them as singles.
is your Lidl the one by Micah's house?
Garner. So no. Not the same one.
The first time I tried one was the one there. Like at Micah's house, I didn't see a pallet either. But Jacksonville, there was literally, you're just sitting out in an aisle. It wasn't on a shelf or anything, it was laying on the ground. And I was like, can I buy it like that? And they didn't stop me. So.
I mean, it's literally Red Bull.
So it wasn't put away?
Yep.
Is it good? Just say something.
It's literally just Red Bull.
That's your second one today.
The aftertaste is a little bit different than Red Bull, but the aftertaste is better than normal Red Bull.
By the way, we got Big B today.
We did. I'm very sorry about that.
You ever had their bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich?
Good.
We just got
That's
it.
what I was.
got
That's
that.
what I wanted. I wanted the strawberry energy drink thing,
The
What she
mocktail,
got?
that's what I got.
and I wanted that, and then
Yeah.
I settled for this.
I got a strawberry kick and mocktail and the bacon, egg, and cheese bagel.
Place is so good.
Yeah, no, my friend Libby, she's having her bachelorette weekend. She's from Oklahoma. She goes to Liberty. She lives in Lynchburg. She's having her bachelorette weekend in Apex, and she told me today the Airbnb is super cute, which I think is the main reason. And she wanted to stay somewhere near here because she knows I have connections here. Because I mean, that's not super far from Matt's house.
Yeah.
So she said that was one of her factors in deciding. So she told me today. I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I got a strawberry mocktail," because she came down here in like November, and we went to Big B. And she was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm making everyone go to Big B for the bachelorette."
Good.
I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Dude, this first time I went to Big B without Matt. Apparently you got Wesley onto it too, because I pulled through the drive-through and I see Wesley and like 5 of her friends all behind the counter, and there's this poor lady like running around getting coffee.
Yeah, their service, I mean, no offense. Big B, your service sucks.
Yeah,
Great
great
food and
great
drink.
food and drinks.
And the service got better today. It's the first time we didn't have to wait for our food at all.
When me and Libby went that one time, we were there for like 10 minutes. It was just 2 coffees.
No, yeah, they suck. No
Yeah.
offense, but you guys suck.
It's worth it though. I'll keep going.
Horrible location.
Oh,
you guys super just
horrendous location.
because they're putting up a new shop there. Jane doesn't know.
Oh, so I saw on my Instagram today, they're putting up a thing. It's called like, what was it?
Soda
Soda
pop.
box?
Soda box.
Something like that. So it's basically like Starbucks, but for sodas. So like you go in and
Oh, is
like
that the Utah thing? Like a bunch of people in Utah. I swear I saw it. 'cause
maybe
they don't.
I have no clue. I know, but like you basically pick what kind of regular soda you want. So like a Sprite or a
Yeah.
Coke or something. You can put like cream in it to make it a cream soda, or like fruit and stuff on top of it. Well, they put a sign up because I guess they're putting up a location literally right beside the Big B. Yeah, Garner, Raleigh, Apex, and Rollsville coming soon to Cary.
I'm good.
I was telling Jane, I was like, people think like if you're not from here, that'd be a good spot because right by like the biggest part of Raleigh.
That's far right there. But
No, this is a trash place. No offense.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
You sue yourself.
I'm sure they were looking at like the real estate options for where to build it, and that was the only one that was feasibly possible to buy.
I don't even know what building that is.
It used to be something else that also died.
If you haven't had a soda with cream, you blow your mind. Like, it's very different than you think. First thing you do is you fix your base soda. Sprite, Dr. Pepper. Then you add a sweet flavor to it. We have both syrups and purees. We top with the best kind of ice with some diced fruit or some cream on top. My name is Brent Sorensen, co-founder of
Especially that. Hate Brent.
Dude,
Oh, I hope it's
Mango
deeper.
Sprite would be insane.
I
Just
just
do comedy. Christian comedy show? No.
They go to Tim Hawkins or something like that. Like
Ooh.
what?
saw him live.
I did too.
Dude, it was actually lit.
Wait, how long ago?
Long time.
Me too.
Deepak?
Yes.
We're the same show.
No way! It's insane. Yeah, I was at DPAC.
Yep. It had to have been
Yeah.
7 years ago.
I can
Something
tell you.
like
Hang on.
I'll put it this way, I know for a fact I wasn't using Snap at the time, so I can't look back and find it.
I was in.
You guys would have been in the same grade, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You guys graduated the same year?
Holy crap.
Are you kidding me? Mark Normand is performing tonight?
I don't know who that is.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I might just not by the name.
Is there a way I can show you guys and not mess up the...
I have this cool thing called an iPhone.
yeah, look up Mark Normand.
Mark.
Who the heck is Cheryl Underwood?
Nope, the first thing that popped up was tickets in Raleigh. Yo, no way, he's in Raleigh?
That's where Danielle's at. They're at a comedy show. I'm assuming it's got.
It's gotta be, yeah. That's
the way
sick.
Mark Normand's coming, you go see somebody else. Like no.
Yeah, no way. If Mark Normand's like performing in your town on the same night, and you're like, I'm going to a comedy show, and you're not going there.
Ron White's here March 7th.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't go out of my way to go see this guy. He's funny, but I wouldn't pay like probably whatever it costs to go see him.
I don't know many people I would, except for Gabriel Iglesias.
I would
He's
pay
here
for
March
him.
9th.
Yeah, I'd pay so much money.
Woo!
Catherine Ann.
Wait, he's here March 9th?
PNC, yeah.
I might actually go to that. That's my pre-deployment leave. So
You leave the week after?
no, I don't leave till the beginning of April. But the last time they're gonna like let me have freedom.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I don't know any of these people. Ooh, John Christ. Follow him on TikTok. He's coming in. He's going to DPAC March 28th.
I don't know who that is either.
I think he's. I can't tell if he's a Christian. I know for sure he's a Christian. I don't know if he's a Christian comic.
What's his name? Mark.
John Christ.
Dude. John Christ. Oh. I've seen some of his videos. I don't think like his comedy's overtly Christian. It's just
And he
family
just is a
friendly.
Christian. Yeah.
And I know for a fact, in one of his videos, he was like making jokes about churches. That was like, there's only one way you understand these jokes. It's if you've been going to church your whole life.
Tom Segura's here April 14th. You're gone. You don't like him?
I do, but
He's
not
one of my
spend money on.
favorites. Really? He's
I tried to. Jeff Dunham was at PNC a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to go to that.
I used to watch him. He's good.
Catherine
Number one.
Ann almost went to go see Theo Vaughn in Charlottesville. Not that long ago.
Oh man, Theo. I didn't even know
Bunch of
Theo
Liberty
Vaughn
kids went.
performed.
Yeah, he was touring. I think it was in Charlottesville. So they just drove up from Lynchburg and went up there. Or they're going to. I don't remember. I remember her talking to me about it though.
His brain just does not function like a normal human, man.
Excessive drug use. If I took copious amounts of meth for a long period of time,
That's what you would sound like.
I'm pretty sure.
He's so funny. He's definitely.
I would pay to
If
see
you
it.
like, if for some reason you're interested in like the amount of drugs he did, when he had John Mulaney on, this is the only I see Theo Vaughn on Instagram all the time, but I love John Mulaney. So I listened to a little bit of the podcast, and like they both had big drug problems, and they go like into detail about what they did. It's insane.
Well, that's what John. I've only ever seen John Mulaney like twice, and it was both about when he went to
Rehab.
rehab. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him because he dressed nice.
Well, the times before, so that was the I know way too much, but that was the Baby J special. So every special before that, all 3 of them that were on Netflix, he was high as I don't know what while performing, and you can tell because he's just pacing across the stage like this the whole time.
So does your dad during church.
Yeah, but it's like ADHD coke.
Actually,
you
your
know?
dad does it if he's not taking his pills.
True.
The ADHD meds.
Yeah. I put that together.
But how? Yeah.
All right.
You know what comes up as tabs whenever I go to look at the transcript after?
What?
So it's actually really easy to edit the last video because all I had to type in was Tacoma and it pulled up.
Yeah. That's it. I'm not going back into detail about that though.
Yeah, why don't we just start with that? That way it's easier to find when I edit it. No, I'm kidding. Let's not.
No.
'Cause editing sucks. It took me a week.
Yeah, let's just not.
It took me 3 attempts and took
We'll
me a
skip
week.
over that a little bit.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, but it gives you tabs for like to know what section you're in.
You just saw us at Tacoma, and you're like, sick.
No, when we were talking about like when I said I accidentally converted to Catholicism
Mhm.
by doing this, and you guys were like, "That's not what that means." It says as a tab, Catholics in awkward moment. I was like just getting roasted by the transcript. AI.
Dude, that's funny.
Oh man. Alright, let's go into this. I guess we're starting 10 minutes. Frick you doing?
Libby's sister sent me a big long text about her bachelorette party, and I got thrown under the bus. Hang on.
You got thrown under the bus?
Not really, but like, then Friday I'm gonna figure out something fun to do in Raleigh. Jaden loves some ideas.
Well, you live in Raleigh, so that makes sense.
Who lives in Raleigh?
Okay, you live close.
Who? I was about to say,
That's not
no.
close. Oxford ain't close to Raleigh.
I don't even
Yeah,
live in
no,
Oxford.
Go up 20 minutes.
Go up 20 minutes.
Nope, not Raleigh.
I live in Virginia.
Well, I can give. Let me text him.
I'll figure it out later.
Let me text him.
Sydney doesn't need.
I'm gonna tell him putt putt at
I was probably gonna tell him. But
Party Shop.
okay,
Party
but Libby's
Shack?
already been to Party Shack.
She's only played one of the courses. There's 3 courses. Boo.
That's fair.
And they changed them.
They
When's the
did.
last time you went
They
there?
changed them a lot.
Yeah.
I need to go again.
Now, you know the baseball one?
Yeah.
Disc golf.
You serious?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
dead serious.
my goodness. Actually,
Insane.
probably because people like me kept going there.
What the frick were you doing?
Every single time I got to that massive baseball thing. I was just there to cause a problem
It
every
was
single time.
dangerous. Like if somebody full out swung, he was going through the net.
Oh,
I got hit once.
so that's what happened.
I remember
I got-
that one time I hit it and then it like hit the kid like up there. It didn't hit the kid, but it hit his foot because it rolled up there with the
You
baseball.
hit some kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
not the baseball.
I almost like
Oh.
knocked out a mom, and she asked me to like go to a different course.
Maybe you should go to a different course, Mom.
She had like 3
Don't
little
step in
kids
the
with
kitchen
her.
if you can't handle the heat. 4-year-old's
Says that
birthday
way
party.
too
That's my go-to. Guess you're out for soccer tomorrow? So am I.
Yeah, I'm out for soccer.
It's wet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't play in the wet. Did you find your phone?
I did. It was in your mom's bathroom.
I didn't even look in there.
You're fine.
Oh man. God. Oh, I went to a Iwo Jima rabbit hole. You know the
Yeah.
picture of the 6 guys?
Yeah.
So I just started looking into all 6 of their lives.
Mhm.
Wasn't that hard because 3 of them died in the Battle of Iwo Jima.
Yeah, I was about to say there's not actually that many.
And then I think one of them died at 35, another
Yeah.
died at 50, and only one lived to 70.
I remember like when he died, wasn't too long ago. The one guy that was left in the picture. Not like as in this year or last year, but
But like before we were born, because I'm pretty sure it was then.
yeah, 'cause I was alive and I saw the video.
Are you sure?
Pretty confident.
It wasn't like this guy died 10 years ago or something?
It was this dude, and they were like the last guy alive from the Iwo Jima picture.
Well, today,
Mm.
and I don't think any of them were still alive when I was born.
I could be wrong.
Because he was 70.
I'm pulling out like a out of nowhere memory. It was like a couple years ago. I would have swore I saw a video. It was like the last guy died.
Maybe. I could be wrong. I could have
So could I.
mislooked. And if I went into that rabbit hole, then I just started like thinking. I was like, I don't know, dude. It's weird to think about. Like the oldest guy in that photo's 22. The youngest guy was like 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like your age people, your age Marines just going in.
That's kind of how wars usually work.
It's just you don't really
Age
think about how
17
young.
to 25, all dying.
Yeah, it's like tragic.
Yeah.
It just wipes out a whole generation of people. While a bunch of like guys in their like 50s are like, go here, go die for your country.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like thinking about it. I don't really consider them like just getting out of high school age.
Dropped out of high school because of the war.
Yeah, how old did you have to be? Was it
Back then,
16?
Back then you could be 16, and
A lot
I'm
of
pretty
people-
sure it wasn't a lot of questions being asked as long as you looked a little bit 16.
Well, it was really easy to fake your paperwork.
Yeah.
'Cause it was easy to fake your
Yeah.
paperwork.
But this way, I've taped my paperwork.
But you can do it now.
It's a lot harder now. I was actually one of the last groups of people that it was easy to like lie about stuff, aka my back and the fact that I'm
Josh
dyslexic.
did. He lied about his leg to get in the Coast Guard. They found
Oh,
out.
like that stuff. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like IDs.
Oh no, you can't lie. They're gonna track your social number, but
Yeah, they didn't do, like my dad, like would use not World War II age, by the way.
yeah, I was about
He's
to
a
say.
little bit older, but I mean he could, because when you're that young, they went by your birth certificate.
Yeah.
So if you brought that, you just had to get a different year in your birth certificate, like a fake birth certificate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. At least that's how it was with my dad.
Your dad was
'Cause-
in the military?
No, but he went to bars.
Well, what a legend.
But when I talked to my granddad, it was like the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, this is how old my dad is. I think I mentioned this last week too.
Yeah, he went to New York.
Well, yeah, there was the U.S. drinking age wasn't 21 yet.
Yeah.
That's how old Papa V is. It was 18 in New York, so he just rolled across the border when he was like 15. I was like, how? Because we actually went to the bar that he used to go to, because it's one of the only places to go to up there,
Yeah.
just to like get food. And he was like, I was like, I think he was. I haven't seen that person since I was 15. I was like, drinking age was 15. He goes, well, I was drinking at 15. All right. I was like, how? And he goes, ID was about this big as a birth certificate. He just brought it in. I had to get it was a different year of the printed on it. It's not like these lamp.
Yeah, it's not like now you have to
Sheets
try
of
super duper hard to have a fake ID.
Even though you don't have to try super hard.
I mean, no, it's not hard at all. Like, you can go order one online with Bitcoin, and it's gonna look great and show up in like 2 days.
Yeah.
That's how I got my real ID taken from me.
Your real ID taken?
Yeah. That bartender had a bad night when the next ID was government issued. And then the owner came out and he was like, yeah, that guy's an idiot. And I was like, yeah, I know that guy's an idiot. Because does this ID look fake to you? So I had my military ID out. He was like, just leave it alone. Like, leave it alone. I'll give you a free drink. Just don't say anything.
Good deal.
I was like, just give me my real ID back. He's like, I'm getting it back. He's pissed off. He's still trying to prove it's not real. I'm like, give him this one with the exact same birthday and make him prove this one's not real.
Well, I'll tell you what. As if he's taking real IDs, ain't no fake ID getting by him. Then
That's
this guy's snagging every ID.
yeah. I tell all my boys, I'm like, don't even try.
Don't even try to get by this guy. He's got it on lock.
Oh. Bro, there was this guy. He was friends with Jose, and he was I don't know if you met him.
I love it.
Actually, you would like this guy. Actually, he was a lot more put together than like all of us. But he showed up, and Jose was like, since he just turned 21, he wanted to go like downtown and like go drink. I was like, sure. And then this guy was like, oh, I'm not 21. And we're like, oh, all right, well, we'll just not then. That's what I was like. We're just gonna go drink. It's fine. And Jose was like, no, don't you have like a fake? And he goes, yeah, it's not like a great one though. And he was like, oh, is it from like North Carolina? And he was like, no, it's from like my home state. And I was like, well, honestly, they probably won't. It'll be harder to catch you here with that, since like from your home state you can name all the information on it. That was like the logic. And we ended up going to this bar. I was worried that this ID was gonna go south quick, so I like distance myself from the group, and I got in there first and gave him my ID, which was very real. And I went through, and then I look back and I see this dude. I swear, this thing was paper. It was paper, and he probably laminated it himself. And it came to the park. I literally saw this dude go, "Yeah, no," and chuck it over his head.
That's so
Dude, I was sitting in the bar. I was like,
You go pick it up. I was like, yeah, man. Ida, Indiana in a state, alright? Combine 2 states, you idiot.
dude, I promise. He like picked it up and it like flopped like paper. I'm like, way. It's like, who let you? First off, who gave you that?
Yeah,
If you're
seriously.
gonna do that, you gotta get like a different country. Like,
Yeah.
Pop into your game, it's like, dude, that's how we make them.
Dude, this is as official as it gets.
Get some Trinidad up. Do I have to edit that up?
No, I don't care about that.
No, we yelled that at a Trinidad game.
I yelled at Cause I did.
We didn't know their language.
No, it's not. You didn't. You apparently knew, or at least
I didn't know.
you turncoated on me so fast.
Oh, yeah, I switched it on you once we found out.
Yeah, because like
Idiot.
there's like 3 people around us turned around and just stared at me like I was an absolute moron. You're like, yeah, they speak English. I was sitting over there. I was like, yo, what they speak in Trinidad? Just everybody around us turns around and looks at me like I'm just some imbecile. And you're like, yeah, man, they speak.
Yeah.
You and Jose both.
Well, I didn't know. I think Jose knew. And then Jose said something. I was like, yeah, you idiot. Come on. Figure it out.
Dude, I don't care. Like, we swamped them like 6-0.
Yeah, I love women's soccer.
Dude, absolutely smacked them.
Ah, man.
But yeah, they speak English now. Score that many goals in one game, you gotta switch your national language.
Alright, let's get into some sport questions. How many completed passes do you think you can make in a Premier League soccer game?
0. Wait, to
Me?
Yeah.
Women's or men's?
You think it changes the answer?
Yes, maybe. Women, I'm saying maybe 1. Probably not.
You might be able to get an accidental one.
Yeah.
wait, I might change my answer. Does it matter where where am I, and where do I have to pass?
Midfield. You can pass anywhere you'd like.
I got it. 1 completed pass.
You think you get one completed pass? Back
Dude.
to the goalie?
You knew right where I was going with that, dude. I'm hammering one
You
directly
are
back to our
sliding
keeper.
that over your own net. They're getting a corner.
I think I got it. I think I'll get it inside the 18 around the PK area, the box around the PK, and I think our goalie's going to get to it. I'm going to say 1 complete pass in the Premier League. Instantly getting subbed out.
Alright.
Because kickoff's going to happen, ball's going to touch my foot, and our goalie's going to have the ball for some reason.
Next question. How many yards do you think you could pick up as a running back in the NFL?
Negative.
I was going to say
25?
I was about to say,
Negative numbers for
I
me,
don't
too.
think this applies to me, so no.
By the way, I don't think I'm completing a single pass in the Premier League.
Dude, I think
Please
You
tell
get-
me you're joking.
I don't think I could.
one
They're
back.
so fast, dude.
Dude, you're not even thinking. Touch, hammer it back to the keeper.
Kick it to someone literally like close to you, and
No,
then get it.
no, I'm not doing that. No,
Midfield? No.
no. If this is happening, then
You can make it. You can make one. You
I
could
really
make
don't
one
think so.
pass.
Because, like, I'm thinking going back to the keep, I feel like a striker's picking up that ball before it lands on the keep's foot. I think a striker gets there. That's how crazy fast this.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Another caveat would be, at what point in the game is this? Is this like right off the bat, where they're still trying to position themselves? Or are they already positioned?
No,
game?
they're set in position. This
Never
thing-
mind. I was thinking this was off kickoff, and they're still like,
No,
their
this
strikers
isn't,
are.
This isn't kickoff where you pass it back to you and you just throw it back to the keep. No, that doesn't count. This is mid-game.
Mid game. All right, 0.
I'm saying I don't think I could complete.
Beginning of the game and like kickoff happens, the ball comes to me, straight to the keeper. I think I got 1 completed pass. Mid game,
Now,
I'm not
yeah,
making 1 pass.
shouldn't mention. Like, this is like normal formation. This isn't like the other team, like my team knows I'm just trying to complete a pass, so one guy stands right there.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like we're in a normal formation.
Yeah,
I don't
even
think-
if there is a guy standing right in front of me, one of their guys is gonna pick it up.
I think I could get like a slidey, like just a little touch.
No.
You don't think so? What my teammate's standing. All right, we'll
Dude,
do
I'm
it.
gonna see Van Dyke running at me at Mach 12, and piss myself.
No, so it's
and
like
the ball's gonna go backwards.
so like I have a teammate here, right? He passes it like that. That's it.
Van Dyke's that lamppost. As I do that,
Well, if my teammate had a
dude, this is the
oh my god,
ball comes into me. You're there. You're my teammate. Van Dyke's right there. I get the ball. I go. It's not happening.
We haven't told the woo story yet.
I feel like Jade's had it for the woo before.
Woo story.
You heard the woo?
Maybe. What?
All right, Kane, take it away.
All right. Best move I've ever done in soccer. Followed up by the best play ever.
I don't know what this is. I vividly remember, but I want to hear it anyway. Continue.
Yeah. So get subbed in. Kind of a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. This is our playoff game. We lost this game. This is our last game of the season.
Yeah, but we should have won by like a mile. We had like 12 shots on goal to their 2.
It was more 12. It really was.
Dude.
It was in the 20s, I'm pretty sure.
And if you put
They had 3.
If you talk about shots within like 30 feet of goal, I had at least 3 on my own.
Your shots were not within 30 feet. Maybe passing their like end line. Like
None of them went in for a throw in, so I'm taking it. We get subbed in, so big game. I get the ball, and I like run it down line, and I see there's this big burly Quaker of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beard in high school, staring me down, and I did just a quick like move, like I flicked it behind myself to like get onto the ball, and I did that, and I see this kid just eat it into the ground. And like dust flies up around him, and he goes, "Whoa!" I hear him on the ground, like, "Whoa!" Like, no way.
They're around midfield.
Yeah, that was just over the halfway line. I take one mega touch, and it goes out in front of me, and I don't know what happened. I just hear that guy like smack into the ground. I went, "Woo!" And my first thought was like, "Yo, this is it. I'm hammering this
Somebody
thing."
clip this.
Let me clip this real quick. Yeah, someone get their phone. That's about to be sick. I put an absolute engine on that ball, and I think I heard it hit like 12 trees, like a couple zip codes over.
Like I've never seen somebody get subbed out so fast.
And dude, the guy that I subbed in for didn't even touch the bench. He got water and was going to sit down. So I look over, and he's already like he never sat down. He's just standing back and he's throwing the water cup on the ground, walking back over.
It's so bad.
That guy's Jose.
That guy, he has
That guy's
Jose was pissed.
Jose was so mad. He was so tired too. He'd been working so
When
hard.
he tells the story, it's so funny. He's like, Jose, okay.
Vasquez, get in there. All right.
Oh, you hear Ricky and go, Kaden, Jose.
Stand by it.
That's the Sam Jersey incident too.
Yeah, that was the same game. I've never seen a male strip that fast ever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Negative seconds. Like that dude turned time backwards. He was like, "This is my moment for the team."
I have nothing but love for that entire class, including Sam Kenneth.
Dude,
Kenneth taught me a lot about soccer. He taught me to turn your back to somebody or you're gonna lose a shin. But it helped.
Dude, honestly, I think if you need to train for professional soccer without
Cannon on the field.
get Sam out there,
Learn how to take a hit.
you're gonna learn to know that the other team's out there.
Yeah.
He's the epitome of that old like style of soccer. It's like, hey, let them know you're out there, boys.
Set the tone early.
Set the tone early.
We should have played him more.
Genuinely,
Struck fear into the hearts of
I really think we should like start off games like throw Sam out there for a solid 5 minutes.
Just up at striker. Like set the tone on the back line. Like
Dude, honestly, he's taking center backs 1v1.
without the ball.
He's gonna
foot.
he's gonna think the ball's coming for him, reach his leg out to get it, but it's gonna go to someone else and he's gonna just kill some kid. Some poor left back's gonna break his leg trying to get around him. Ball's not even remotely playing in their area.
He's a good kid. I like that kid.
I love that.
I think my parents are taking Charlie back in the driving home.
Right now?
Yeah. My dad's got to preach in the morning. They can't stay.
Why was she home?
They were in Georgia.
They're driving her back.
Back to Pfeiffer.
You know, shot. I drive to Georgia and back.
They drove up last night, spent the night, and coming back tonight to see her play yesterday. Or sorry, not yesterday.
Play.
Today.
Play what?
Softball.
Yeah, no shot.
I was supposed to
Not
be in a
for softball.
softball tournament today.
You didn't go?
Right
Not
now.
right now.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I got moved to another weekend. I can't go because I have work.
I don't know if I'm going to the next weekend. Lucky for those Latin guys, I was about to tear it up.
They were going to put him at second base.
Yep. That's where you want me. Never put on a baseball glove before, but second base seems alright.
Yeah, that'd have been interesting.
We were talking about the U.S. today. Attacking it.
Attack me
I
up.
feel like we've been talking about this for like a week though. 'Cause we had this conversation the other day too.
You know what conversation we should have? What celebrities
Okay.
or artists, let's do artists.
Oh, okay. Oh, this, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What artists are going to be people like our kids bring up? Like, you know, there's artists from like the 80s, that, like
Yeah.
70s that you bring up to your parents. Like, what was it like listening to him real time? Like, who are those going to be those artists when our kids are up and coming and these artists are gone?
Drake.
Ooh.
I don't want that to be a thing, but I think it will be.
I need you to speak up, big guy.
Drake.
I didn't think about Drake.
I think he will. I don't like him, but I think he will be.
Hip hop
He's
and like
gotta be
rap
one,
wise,
yeah.
it for sure will be
He's
great.
got to be. Yeah.
Probably in that same vein, like J. Cole.
I see it.
Around here, J.
In
Cole.
the South, J. Cole.
In the
still
South,
be a
J.
thing.
Cole. In a not necessarily global, but like a national perspective, I don't think it'll be as much J. Cole. But around here, absolutely.
I think the Southeast,
Yeah.
J. Cole will still be popular when we have kids.
Here's where I'm at, though. Like, which one of his songs are still gonna be playing when our kids are out?
They'll just find them. They're all like all the same level of like decently, slightly above mediocre.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, Drake's songs like topped out the charts.
Yeah.
When they came
Yeah,
out.
but
So J. Cole, some of his songs did too.
this is so bad I don't remember the name of it, but I'm blanking on it.
I don't know any songs, so it's gonna be rough
Don't
for me.
save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't
Yeah.
save her. She don't want to. That 100% will be
Yeah.
playing for kids.
Yeah, that's the only song I can think of.
I can
That's
think
like,
of a couple others that like.
well, I mean, I actually do like J. Cole. He's one of
I
my
actually he's
favorite
one
My
of
friend
the,
has
he's
a
one of
J.
the
Cole
few
tattoo.
like hip hop artists I listen
Chloe.
to so far.
Chloe, did you remember Chloe?
Yeah,
Yeah, no
Yeah,
shot.
she's got a "Love Yours" tattoo right here.
No shot.
but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if his music's still gonna be played that
In the
much.
Southeast, I don't think there's any way it wouldn't be.
Okay, I'm talking about like U.S. scale.
Okay, so you're talking on a national
The
scale.
whole Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She's gonna still be played. Gonna be played.
There's no way she won't be. Like,
Yeah.
she's too big now.
Yeah, she was one of the three that we said.
Katy Perry. I think she will be.
I feel like she has too many
This
songs.
is Liberty text that I'm getting still. They sent out one of these because apparently somebody stole a scooter. They stole a bird.
Big deal.
Sorry, continue. I just
Oh.
had to tell you that.
Yeah, Katy Perry's one that I didn't think of, but she has some really big songs.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're thinking of some that we didn't think of.
I was thinking like, I don't know. I feel like Snoop Dogg is kind of that generational in between at the moment. You know.
I do. He is kind of old.
Yeah.
Like he's a little bit old for us. But
But
I
it's
think
Snoop
I still think
Dogg.
he will be. I mean, what? You're born 2000? No, you're 99.
No, he's 01.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh.
2000s is still fine with us, right?
I'm 02 though. Like
I'm
he was like really big from like 2000 to like 2010, and I was not listening to Snoop Dogg in
Yeah,
those
like we
years.
weren't listening to rap music when we were.
I was not listening to Snoop.
You know.
Matthew was.
Yeah, of course Matthew was.
when I was 8, I was not listening to Snoop Dogg.
But even now, I mean, he's still been featured on a lot of songs that went big.
I still think, that's why I said it. Like, I think he's gonna be,
You know how much he charged for a feature?
dude, probably nuts.
I think it's like $250,000.
Yeah.
Honestly, goodness, I
For
was
like-
expecting it to
Bro,
be more.
Lil-
16 lines.
Lil
of
Dicky.
songs. Lil Dicky.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wish he would.
Eminem was another one that we said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
did we say Beyonce or Rihanna?
I think them two both probably.
Them two will. Beyonce more than Rihanna, but I personally like Rihanna more than Beyonce,
Did we say one more?
which is controversial.
I think those were the 3.
Where's my Spotify?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, that was the
I
other one.
pray that's not true.
It has
If
to
my
be.
kid's like, you remember Justin Bieber? I'm gonna punch his little butt.
You don't like Justin
No,
Bieber?
I hate him. I hate him with a burning eternal passion.
I threw out potentially One Direction.
I
For how big
actually
they
agree with that
were.
because that's one of the things that just popped up when I looked at my phone. One Direction, I think.
I feel like they're just our modern Beatles.
Same.
I don't know if they'll be as big as the Beatles.
No,
Over
because
time.
they weren't together as long as the Beatles were.
No.
The Beatles weren't
and-
together long.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Beatles though they like changed how things were being done at the time.
Yeah, and at least 2 of them were very successful on their own.
Exactly.
Where
So-
only really
Well,
Harry Styles.
Harry is successful and Zayn's pretty successful, but not to Harry's extent.
Yeah, but not to like
Niles-
John Lennon's extent either.
No. Niall's pretty successful, but the other two, Louis and Lewis, I think.
Those are their 2 names.
Yeah.
Lewis?
Yeah.
Frick is Lewis.
I think it's Lewis.
I don't know any.
Niles, Zayn,
I don't-
Harry,
Louis.
Louis.
I think Lewis.
His name was
Oh.
Lewis?
Lady
Lewis
Gaga.
sucks.
I think it would be Lewis.
No offense, Lewis, but come on,
Lady
figure it
Gaga.
out. What?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Lady
Also-
Gaga will be remembered more for her extravagantness rather than her songs, in my opinion. Like,
She's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah, she's
exactly.
weird.
Everybody's gonna remember when she wore that meat dress. Like, they're not gonna
What
remember.
meat dress?
She wore a dress made of meat
Dude,
to like.
I even heard about that at some
Yeah,
point.
it
I
was
don't
a
care
long
about
time
her.
ago.
From the egg.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah, but you know something that she did that was off the wall, and you remember her because of it.
She also has some really
Oh,
big
sorry, it's
songs.
Louis and Liam,
Liam.
but it's spelled like Lewis.
That's also how you spell Louis.
I know. That's why I was thinking Lewis because I saw
Gotcha.
Louis. Yeah. Yeah, it's Liam.
If he stays,
I actually like Liam, so my bad for whoever we
I like
thought
Liam.
Lewis was.
if he stays on his same trajectory, Zach Bryan.
100%. Country wise, I think so. If he stays on the same trajectory.
Again, that one's kind of not national. That is like the South.
That is the South, but
But
That is 100%.
that's not just the Southeast though. That's like
well, in his specific genre.
in his genre of music, he'll
yes,
be
I
Because
agree.
if our-
If he keeps progressing. I don't know
remembered.
about
If he stays
now.
on the same level he's at now.
But like he's consistently getting better though.
Yeah, but
And
even
he
now,
didn't start from really the bottom either. He was still great when he started.
I love his music.
Yeah.
But I feel like in order for you to be remembered, you have to be doing stadium series tours.
That's what he's doing. He hasn't started his tour yet, has he? Or he's about to. I know he's,
He's about
performing
to,
at
and
PNC in
he's
March.
doing stadiums.
Not PNC, Greensboro in March.
Greensboro. That's not PNC though.
I didn't mean to say PNC.
No, I know, but that's like I think you have to be.
He has though. I know for a fact he's done a stadium.
Yeah.
And
He's
he
done
will
a
do
stadium tour.
Not a whole tour, but he's done
This
a
is
stadium.
his first like
Oh.
big tour.
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
I
skipped
feel like
over
Ed
him.
Sheeran is like kind of like borderline millennial.
Adele's
You
gonna
know,
be.
Adele,
somebody
like,
everybody
don't.
looks
She's
back.
above everyone else. I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you hate
She has
Adele,
such a
you're
good
lying.
voice.
Like, you might not like her for her personality, but you cannot
Who
say.
do you think
that
has a
her
better
sucks.
voice than
No.
Adele?
I'm not saying Adele doesn't have a good voice. I'm not saying I don't like Adele. I'm just saying I don't.
She is the Celine Dion of our generation.
Yeah, I'm
One
saying
hundred
that.
percent.
Like
It-
you,
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with that, but
Yeah.
I also don't know if she carries enough weight. Just
dude, her songs are so big.
They're-
They're huge.
Yeah.
Set fire to the rain, dude.
Rolling in the deeps in my
Dude,
that's gonna be stuck in my head now.
But I think like
like
she's not gonna be famous for like. No, maybe nobody may remember what she looks like,
Her songs though.
but her
a lot of
voice
people
is
remember
gonna
her because of her weight loss.
be- She's a weight loss.
No, clue. I
She
have
was
no idea.
she was very large and she lost a lot of weight. A lot of
Good for
weight.
her.
And so, yeah, like, great for her for being healthy. But hang on, I'll show you.
I feel like we're getting to so many names now. Like, who's gonna be another?
Well, think about it, too, because of like
Blake
how
Shelton.
music's
Blake Shelton has to be bigger than Zach Bryan overall.
not
Okay.
anymore.
This was
Like,
literally
5 years ago, yeah.
when her
That's what I'm
first.
saying. Zach
this
Bryan
was
5 years ago is bigger than.
Yeah, but he didn't carry enough weight for a long enough period of time.
This was when Rolling in the Deep came out,
Wow.
and that's her now.
Good
Don't
for
get me
her.
wrong, she's had plastic surgery, but like,
Yeah, good for her.
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah,
I don't really seen like the post pictures.
insane.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just the
We're also,
Zach
like-
Bryan thing.
Dude, no. I don't know what argument you're trying to make, but it's dumb.
Okay,
He's been big for 2 years.
There's no way he doesn't keep that going.
If that.
I feel like he has a lot of momentum going now, and I
This
agree.
is what I'm saying.
If
If
okay,
he
If the
continues.
yeah,
if
Yeah,
he
that's what I'm
does,
saying,
if he
yeah.
falls off the next year, obviously not.
Yeah.
But if he stays on the trajectory he's on, which it looks like he's going to, he's
For-
gonna be remembered for a while.
But at least 5 years, he would have to stay on this trajectory.
Yes, and I think that's.
Because we're talking about One Direction barely not lasting long enough, almost not lasting long. They were together for like
No,
5 or 6 years.
We're talking about in a specific genre though,
We're like what's
because if you ask somebody our age that listens to country music, who's some of your favorite artists? Top 2 are going to be Zach Bryan and Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
so I'm
right
saying-
now.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Morgan Wallen was basically the
If
same
you ask
thing
me
where
for
he
my
continued.
for like my whole life, who's some like the favorite country artists you've seen? Those 2 are probably gonna be up there.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying if you ask a lot of people their favorite pop artist right now, a lot of them are going to say Olivia Rodrigo.
What's wrong with Olivia Rodrigo?
Nothing, but she's not going to be, as of now, somebody that we look back
Okay.
on and be like,
Why did you, Matt? Why did you do this?
there's no
I'm gonna have to hear this
way.
argument.
All right.
Here we go.
There's
Matt, I blame you.
zero
Okay,
Yes.
way.
well, hang on. With the logic you just said about Zach Bryan, Olivia Rodrigo is doing a stadium tour right now.
But she's. I also said you have to be big for at least 5 years.
Yeah, but so what? 2020? She's going on 4.
She's been big since 2020.
Yes.
That big?
Yes.
No, I'm looking that up.
Look up when
I don't
Driver's
know.
License came out.
She didn't do a stadium tour the next day though.
No,
Yeah, she just started one now.
I'll put it
it
this
started
way.
yesterday.
Well, then she's got 5 more years of stadium tours.
So your requirement is 5 years of stadium tours.
I require that you cannot be just big for 1 year.
She's not big for 1 year. It's Olivia Rodrigo. Look, I'm not saying that.
Yo, Matt, I agree with you on this one.
Listen, I'm not saying she will be remembered like by everyone ever, but she's not going to be forgotten. Does that make sense?
I'll put it this way: if my kids go, "Yeah, you remember Olivia Rodrigo?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna show you a picture and show her fat Adele."
I'm saying we can't put her on the same list as the names
But
we've said.
pause. Hang
Like,
on.
Beyonce is.
Let me.
No,
No,
Beyonce
that's not what I'm
barely
saying. That's not what I'm
owns.
saying. But I'm saying Olivia Rodrigo isn't going to be like thrown in the dust. You know, like
I hope so.
I don't know, like somebody.
Dude,
I'm saying that
she's
if
got
you're-
like a year until
Oh,
she doesn't
I have somebody
no-
else that'll be. I'm so sorry. Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I saying? Crap, I forgot. But I will say, Olivia Rodrigo, a big reason she is famous is because she got connections with the right people. Do you know who wrote Deja Vu?
No.
Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. So like, that's
So
like
she's
one of,
actually not good at making
so
music. She just knows the
good.
right
Good
people.
for You was written by Hayley Williams, which is the lead singer of Paramore. So it's like she's got these connections that are making her big.
Actually, Paramore in their own vein of music would stay popular too.
100%. I love Paramore.
If we're gonna start breaking into like
Um,
that kind of genre of music, which is kind of what I
After
listen to.
all this time, I'm still into you. I should be over all the butterflies. I'm into you. You've heard me play Paramore a million times.
I know that song.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right
There's
now,
never been an artist when 70s on 7 comes
My
on
Chemical Romance.
where I've been like, Dad, do you know who this person is? And he said no. Like every single big person that comes up on these songs are huge.
Yeah.
Like I would say it's like we
I
we
think
have to
all of
lower our
them.
list
I
to,
think
like,
all of them would be on it. I get your argument for Zach Bryan, and I don't understand the argument for Olivia Rodrigo. But
you're telling me if a 20s playlist comes up, however many years from now, Good For You is not going to be on my playlist. You see what I mean?
Here's what my point is. How many artists can you name from the 70s?
I'm bad with years, so I don't know.
That's
I was
exact
I
argument.
could. I
Like-
don't know about years.
Hmm?
I don't know if I could categorize specific artists with years. Though is the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many like artists around that time? Like 20?
I can probably name like country artists from the '70s, but that's about it.
I'm really bad at music.
When was
I
Fleetwood
No,
Mac?
but that's because your family listens to it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm talking about like somebody who doesn't listen to the music and still knows the artist.
Was Fleetwood Mac '70s or were they '80s?
I think they're 80s. Like,
Sounds like an 80s band.
yeah.
80s, 90s.
I know Fleetwood Mac. I like them.
I love.
So that's my point. Is like, who are the people that they don't listen to that music, but they still know who they are?
1977. All right.
I
That's
mean,
when Rumors came out. That's their biggest album. So yeah, like other than
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac, I probably.
I know. I
Yeah.
know a solid one, but I
Yeah.
thought they were 80s.
No.
So you guys see my point?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So now I'm like,
But if you
now
put,
we gotta look back
but
at
if
the
you put
list.
on a
But listen.
if you put on a 70s playlist, how many songs am I gonna like?
We
Oh,
know.
instantly
Yeah.
like, oh, I know that one. A lot, but I'm just not great.
You may
with
know the
it.
song, but you may not be like, oh my gosh, I love that band. Like, or I know who that band is.
Yeah.
See, that's my point. I was like, these guys have to be huge.
I do think we're gonna have more huge people though.
I think music's more accessible. So
Music's
Yeah.
more accessible, and we have a whole lot bigger of a population than we did back then. So a
'Cause
lot
right
more
at-
people are going to be interested in specific
In the
types.
70s,
of
they
music.
had a radio.
It's-
I have this, and I can go look through every single artist and all their stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm doing now. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
but we have that now. You can find the same
That's
music.
what he's saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying when our kids are doing it though, there's gonna be a lot more names on the list.
No, but-
'Cause
But your point's like somewhat invalid because we can do the same thing with 70s music now. Whereas
Yeah, but it's
our
not
kids,
constantly being played on the radio.
yeah, but neither is our music now going to be played in 20 or 30 years. Like songs now aren't going to be played unless you find it.
I will say
This
this.
for you isn't going to play on our kids' radio on the way to school.
I don't know. I hear Toxic sometimes when I'm
No, we're
downstairs
not gonna
in
have a
the
radio
room.
in 20 years.
We've got a radio in my office, in the embalming room.
All I'm saying is,
In 20 years, you're gonna have a speaker and you're gonna have a phone.
yeah, so you're actually going to be less likely to listen to music that you don't want to listen to or that
Yeah.
you've never heard before. So actually, it might go the other way. Before, when you had a radio, you were forced to listen to what the radio played,
Unless you had a CD.
unless you had a CD.
Yeah. I was too poor for CDs. My dad had a radio.
But even if you do have a CD, because you choose the CD that you want to listen to.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the technology is gonna keep more people prevalent because like good songs are gonna like that people really like. They're just gonna keep playing them for years and years, even when they fell off of like charts.
Yeah.
Certain people that really like those songs are gonna keep playing them.
Yeah, but then their kids will listen to those songs, right? I'm talking about our kids who are just going to come up to us unprovoked from anything we do and be like, hey, do you remember listening to the Beatles live? My dad didn't play the Beatles for me, but I know who the Beatles are because of how big of a name their name is carried.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying you played the music for them, that's why they know them.
Mhm.
I'm saying who is so big now that their name is still going to be big 30 years from now. But I think there's, like I said, I think there's going to be a lot more.
The obvious answer to the Beatles comparison is going to be Taylor Swift. And
Yeah.
that's
I agree that there's going to be more now. I think Taylor Swift
Yeah.
is an obvious one. I really think Eminem and Snoop Dogg are two pretty big ones. I think
I think Eminem will fall off by the time our kids are around.
I think he's going to fall off, but he's in so many songs that went so
Yeah.
big.
and I feel like if you focus on like the pop kind of like Y2K, like 90s, 2000 era, everyone thinks Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I could see Britney Spears,
Like-
like Lady Gaga.
So that old, like, if you look up like 2000, 2010s like white girl playlist, I think you're gonna listen to that music and like that music alone for like years to come.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to look at artists then than it is now because they've already survived 10 years
Yeah.
Yeah.
or 15 years
Yeah.
now. So they've made it the first step to where it's like I think it's harder to say somebody like Zach Bryan because we don't know yet that
If he
he's
died
going
in
to
a car
survive
wreck
a
tomorrow.
decade.
God, I would cry.
Yeah, like, we don't
Yeah.
know yet if he's going to survive 10 years. So I think it's
I mean,
harder
he's
to
a
look at
veteran.
it.
Like
He
he's a
might.
nuts chance of killing himself like
Yeah.
any second now.
Okay, anyway, this got deep. I think Bruno Mars was another big one.
Bruno Mars.
I think Bruno.
And I
Mars.
think Adele's voice alone will stay.
Yeah.
Maybe not her image.
I think it'd be more of our kids being like, "Oh, I love this song" when it plays sometime, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this is a song from when I was your age." Some shit.
So I liked our initial. I think there's gonna be a lot more. But
I think more.
I don't know.
what about athletes? Messi and Ronaldo are huge.
Yeah.
Way too big.
LeBron.
LeBron.
Maybe Stephen Curry.
I could see Steph Curry out of all the current players last night.
Yeah. Tiger Woods.
Tiger.
Anyone that ever remotely plays golf competitively is gonna know who he is for years to come.
Who else we got?
Is that his legal name?
No idea.
It's gonna bother me. I've been wondering that since I was like 7 and have never.
What the?
Oh, Phelps.
Yes.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You saying Bolt maybe? Maybe.
I think people already are starting to not know who he is.
Eldrick Taunt Woods.
Rough. Yeah, good thing you changed
That is
that.
brutal. Eldrick Taunt. T-O-N-T. That's horrible. No wonder you go by Tiger. Change my name too.
I mean, anybody who watches hockey is always gonna know who Wayne Gretzky is, but
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid too, because they're probably top 10 at.
There's Connor McDavid. I'm actually no. I don't know that.
Well, I'm saying anybody who watches hockey. I think hockey's different because if you don't watch hockey, you don't know who anybody is. But if you watch hockey, you're gonna know.
I mean Gretzky. I
yeah,
don't
but that's
know.
the only person anybody knows.
I don't know who that is.
And like, dude, I cannot, personal opinion, ranking athletes, I can't put any team athlete above him. I think
Ronaldo?
What?
Ronaldo as an athlete in
No.
general.
Okay, so like, I'm not talking athletic ability. I'm talking dominance. Like Ronaldo, and you can make the argument Messi's better than him, but you can't. Like at least
As an athlete alone,
no, I'm talking dominance in sport.
dominance and yeah.
So you make the argument. There's nobody you can make the argument about Gretzky.
Wait.
Buddy, let me give you a stat real quick.
I guess yeah. The fact that we're having the argument says something.
Points. If he never scored a goal in the entire time he played in the NHL, he would still have the most points ever. Dude, he has 1,000 more points. And points are like it's not like he has like 36, the next guy has 35. He's like 2,500. Next guy doesn't have 1,500. Like it's something like that. He has like 1,000 more than the next best player.
Yeah.
Like insanely dominant. He won. So I saw this post the other day. He's like, who was the most dominant in their first 7 years? I had like Mahomes and Gretzky was on the list. Then it was like, and they showed like their MVPs per year. It was like 2, 3. Gretzky won the first 7 MVPs of the NHL. He was 20 years old and he won 7. I think he won his first 8 MVPs. Like he was the best player in the league for 8 years straight.
The argument, this also is like an argument between sports though. I feel like if you're really, really cracked at your sport, you would pick up more speed being cracked at hockey than you would be cracked at like some other sports that are bigger.
But I would also say,
if you're cracked at soccer, yeah, cool. So is a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if you're cracked at hockey, you're already in a smaller category.
well, in soccer, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would also argue because of how much skilled the NHL players are, soccer the biggest sport in the world. So I'm not going to say soccer because the amount of people that play soccer.
We were talking about this last night. Like, if you're nasty at soccer, it's like, well, cool.
But like
a lot of people are.
a sport like football and basketball is like the skill difference between the best player and the worst player is so much smaller than the skill difference between the best basketball player and the worst basketball player.
Yeah.
Because one, you can only be realistically, you have to be above 6 foot. Like
Yeah.
you have to be insanely skilled to be a little shorter than 6 foot to
Yeah.
play.
You gotta
So it already kicks out like 80% of the population.
Yeah.
And like more than that of the entire world, but like 80% of the U.S.
Yeah.
is already ineligible. to
In
be-
one of the taller countries, anyway.
And I think it's 1 in 4 7-footers in the entire world playing in the NBA. If you're 7 foot, you can play. It's just if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah.
So the skill difference between a tall center that's just 7 foot and is in the NBA because he's tall,
Yeah.
and a point guard like Steph Curry, the skill difference is massive.
Yeah.
But hockey,
Everybody,
everybody
you
has
gotta
to do
be
the same
nasty.
thing.
Yeah.
Because it
I'll say
doesn't-
that same thing does kind of apply for soccer too.
soccer though, like because of how
There's not a body type that makes you nasty.
No, I was gonna say like because of how many players there are, there's going to be such a skilled center back that can play in the midfield end. Like, they're that skilled.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I'm just like,
Well,
because
even though like a nasty person that plays in like the Canadian League is still capable of playing in like the championship right below the Premier League.
yeah, and well, I was gonna say like a Premier League center back could probably play like D midi or O midi in the MLS.
Brad Striker.
Like that, those guys are so skilled.
Van Dijk, like one of the nastiest centers in the Premier League. Dude, put him anywhere on a field in MLS.
That's what I was, like, those guys are so skilled. So that's why I didn't want to put soccer, because there's so many people who play that you have to be so skilled to make it. Even any pro league, but especially the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm talking about, the biggest pro league for hockey. So I feel like you'd have to say probably Premier League as far as
Nastiest, like overall.
overall.
Them and like La Liga, the Spanish league.
Yeah, La Liga is 2.
And then it's kind of like,
The top teams for Bundesliga, like the worst teams aren't nearly as good, right?
no, Bundesliga in general is nasty.
But like, isn't there like a big difference between like the top 4 and like the bottom 4? I feel like there's a smaller difference.
Only
the
in
Premier
money.
League.
That's the one thing I don't like about soccer. Kind of the reason I stopped watching
Yeah.
is like
The
like
bigger
Manchester
birds.
City, they're gonna be top 3 in the Premier League for like Everton because of how much money they have. It's like, cool, who are the best players in the world right now? They're like, well, our scouts that we pay $1 million a year to go scout people say these are the best players. Okay, we're gonna pay all of them. Oh, this guy doesn't want to come here because like he likes his hometown. What's the dollar amount to get him here?
Yeah, there is a dollar amount.
Yeah, like what is the dollar amount? Everybody has a price, and then they'll just be like, cool. And the same thing Ryan Reynolds did because he bought that like
Wrexham.
yeah. There was a guy who didn't want to move, and he was like, "What's the number?"
I think he's almost like a billionaire, isn't he?
I think he is a billionaire.
A billionaire?
I thought so.
He might be.
So I was watching
I'm pretty
I
sure
watched the documentary on Wrexham.
Like, it's excluding his acting performances, like just the way he's flipped.
Yeah, like Mint Mobile.
Yeah, the way
He
he's
sold
flipped,
that John. He sold that for like almost $1 billion.
Uh,
Like that
Companies.
company alone, he sold for almost $1 billion. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, he does it with a lot of more companies that
Yeah.
like you see. Like I heard of one the other day that he just recently sold.
I heard like in general too, the whole Wrexham thing is actually starting to payback money via the TV show and via the team
It's gonna
actually.
make bank.
Huh?
It's gonna make bank on Wrexham.
It's still a long shot because the
How much did he pay for it? You know how much more money that team has to be now? Unless he overpaid for it.
it wasn't just overpaying for it. It was that he bought a dying team.
Yeah,
And
but aren't they the
They
big
had to like
three now?
flop all their staff,
Ooh.
as in players and staff too. Like staff and players, and then the stadium was falling apart, so they refurbished the entire stadium. Which that alone was like a
But he's
few
not
million.
the sole owner, is he?
No, you know, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a really crappy.
Yes.
Danny DeVito.
The Danny DeVito.
Oh, he's a short guy, right?
Yeah, they own a
I
bar.
love him.
Yeah, there's some show where he owns a bar. One of the main
Oh, I-
characters in that show, Rob McElhenney, he owns it with him.
I think I saw. I don't know if I saw a clip of it. I just saw
That show's so funny.
they were at like a breakfast, and Andy was like, "Bro, I thought you said there wasn't going to be any alcohol here." And the guy was just like,
He's got mixers.
He was like, he was like no man, that's just orange juice. He goes, the mixer? That's hilarious.
They're just drinking mixers? People do that?
That was the worst commentary over a show ever.
The entire show is about that speed.
But really,
For like 9 seasons.
what's like the show now? And we just talked about artists. What's like a show now that's gonna be huge?
Now,
Just thinking
I
like
mean, The Office.
The Office. I think it survives.
The Office will survive. Even though I would
Does that count as our time though? Because I feel like that's before now.
Not, it started, but think about how
It's
long
just starting
it
got big.
It
but
got big.
in our times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were alive though when it was still coming out. Like, I mean, no,
Yes.
beyond alive,
Easily,
obviously.
wasn't it 09?
Yeah,
Or
but I mean, like,
later.
When it ended?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't end till like.
yeah, it didn't end. It wasn't
It
that long ago.
started
when
in
it ended.
05, I think. So it didn't end until like 2011.
This is about it. Possibly an argument. But this was a show that I was big into, and it's still big within its fan base today, and I think it might carry it.
Oh.
Psych.
Never heard of it.
It's good.
Psych?
Psych.
2005 to 2013. So yeah.
It's like all the actors like retired and they're like done with the show, but the fan base has kept it going. That they get them together like once every 2 years to make like a mini episode.
Oh,
It's like an hour long.
I
And
feel
it's-
like, oh, that's cute though.
yeah. So like
Cute. I just say that.
every 2 years though, you get a little update on like how the characters are
Aw,
doing.
that's sweet. We need The Office to do that.
I feel like
I've actually never watched all The Office.
after season 7,
Season 7 after Michael leaves is when I
yeah, don't watch it.
got it off.
Click to the
I,
end.
I'm not gonna lie. So I've watched like the first couple seasons, and I can't understand the crazy hype around it.
The
It ju-
first two
Did you
seasons
get?
sucked.
Did you get to the 2? I like the second season.
Second season's good, but watching them back to back, I don't know. Like watching them collectively without seeing the whole thing.
it's just really.
I like
It was just really cringy.
But
I,
First
I
season-
just sat there the whole time. I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
you feel that every time Mike was on the screen, so
Okay.
get used to it.
I don't like that. Dude.
So
it's like secondhand embarrassment.
I've seen it all the way through. Last time I watched it all the way through was my 17th time.
But sorry, I'm putting up numbers like that with Psych. I think
Yeah.
I've seen all of Psych and all the episodes that came out since the show ended. I think I'm on 15.
Yeah. So it's like, but if I'm watching it, now I kind of pick and choose what I want to watch.
That's
I don't
what do.
watch.
I go back to the episodes I like.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
haven't
watch
seen in a
season
while.
1 except Diversity Day. I'll watch Diversity Day. Season 1, I'll watch 2. I don't watch 3 because I hate Karen. I'll watch 4, 5, 6, and 7.
No, if it was like with Psych, I'll watch every
Yeah,
season.
I'll
There
watch
isn't a
every
bad
episode,
but there's
but-
episodes I remember more,
Yeah.
and the ones I remember less, I'll rewatch. So it's a little bit like, oh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
So I was rewatching some episodes this week actually. So I was like, oh, I want something to watch, and I started a new show.
Just watch
Which is,
My Name is Earl.
what is that?
My Name is
You
Earl.
would like that. I feel like that's
It's
kind of your
actually really
speed.
funny.
I've seen one episode.
I started this show and I'm not sure I like it, but I kind of can't stop watching it, and it makes me uncomfy. So we'll see how this goes.
And we've already been going for an hour. That's insane. You know, the last one we went for like 3 hours.
Yeah, it was 3 hours. I was like, yo. Oh no, yeah, I've seen an episode of this.
My Name is Earl.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's just funny.
You know who that girl is? Take a guess.
Well, he has it up. He's gonna be able to tell you. What
Don't
do
look
you-
at the cast.
what do
Yeah,
you-
I'm not. I'm looking at
Yes.
pictures. Don't worry, I'm not cheating actually.
Oh, never mind.
The blonde one?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No clue.
You don't think that looks like Margot Robbie?
Like Trailer Park version.
Well, they
So-
live in trailer parks.
Yeah.
So there's like these 6 girls, because he thought that was Margot Robbie. There's like these 6 girls that all look
I
like
don't really
Margot
know.
Robbie.
I've never seen a Margot Robbie movie, so.
There's no way that's accurate. You haven't seen a single movie of Margot Robbie's. I do know what you're talking about. The 6 girls that all look like identical
Yeah.
and they're all like equally as popular.
Exactly.
It is weird.
Except Margot Robbie's a lot bigger now because of the Barbie movie. But
Well, that's not the only reason why, right? 'Cause
we
I
got
know
Wolf
the
on Wall
name.
Street.
Okay, I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
She's in Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
She the girl?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't know who she was then.
Yeah. Margot Robbie.
I watched half of Django.
It's a good
I like that movie.
I like here. Okay, so I kind of thought about this. It's kind of a weird thought, right? I'm not one to be like white guilt or anything. Wasn't part of it, but some of those scenes and like actually like realizing that did happen
Yeah.
is one of the most terrifying things. The way, like, how do you treat somebody
Yeah.
that way?
It's like I actually had like borderline white guilt because we were playing, you know, the game Codenames.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was
but
able to
why?
connect 2 really horrendous ones via a very, very racist comment.
Okay.
Um,
Let's get deep. Don't get to the
uh,
point where I have to edit this. 'Cause
No,
I ain't
no,
editing.
no,
I
no,
know
no,
that.
no. I would. But there was 2 things, and I was able to connect them just by something off the wall. And then when I said it, I said it out loud. I just was like, if they get that, I'm gonna feel kind of bad. And like, my partner didn't, but the other team's guy, it was Micah. Micah just puts his head in his hands and he goes,
Yeah, Micah gets everything. There's nothing getting.
and he's like, dude, why'd you make me think that? I'm like, in hindsight, I feel bad. Like, I feel bad. He's like, I'm gonna give your team the points. I'm gonna tell them what it is. But why did you go there? And I was like, I had to connect them, man. I had to make. It was a cross in Africa.
Cross in Africa? Do you know it? Cross in
You have to get like historically racist.
So you have to get like a. Is the point of the game to guess the person?
So no, you have a bunch of words, and the goal you can't say the word, the same word.
So it's like charade but with words.
Kind of, but all you can tell them is like, hey, you say like mango for two, and then there's like one says fruit and something says like tropical. And then he's like, oh, so there's two words on here that go with mango. So he's going to look for something. He's going to see fruit and be like, all right, mango's a fruit. It's that one. And then what else, like, is a mango? It's like, oh, it's like a tropical fruit. And then you go that. So, but
So the words on your sheet.
But you obviously don't get to pick the words. The game,
Right.
You lay out the cards and it's like, oh, I have to find a way to connect all these words before the other team does. So
So I'm trying to connect those two words.
And I had to connect cross in Africa.
What you say then?
Said burning. Yeah, Jane got it.
Burning.
It's bad. I felt bad afterwards. Yeah, this is exactly what happened. That's the exact face Micah made, and then Jacob made the exact same face you're
I
making,
don't
which is
get it.
I'm not racist enough to understand this.
I really don't.
Jaden is from Virginia on the border, and she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Burning
Yeah,
cross?
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
is that like the KKK?
yeah.
And then burning Africa?
And then that KKK was supposed to lead him to Africa. Micah made the jump just like Jaden did instantly. Jacob sat there and was doing you because like oil was on the board, and oil would be the obvious one. And he was like, oil, that's the obvious one. He just sees me like this. I'm like, like Micah just sitting there shaking his head. He's like, dude.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. It's
I
a
think-
really fun game. What other note?
We're talking about doing that to people's like insane, like slavery and all that. The other thing I would think about, how, okay, I know it's common for like murders to happen now, but not really compared to like our founding fathers.
No, people were just
Like-
getting schwacked. They were killing each other, and it was like okay. It's
Yeah,
like, hey,
it's
there.
like you can get away with it so much easier. Like, don't get me wrong. Back then, like the penalty half the time was hanging, but like realistically, how many people? were
Like
getting
realistically, if
caught?
someone sleeps with your wife, no one's gonna bat an eye if you blow their brains out, and then they ask you why. He slept with my wife, and they're gonna
like
go,
back then, I'd be
okay.
like, yeah, you know what? I probably would have done that too. And they walk
Or
away.
like he touched my kid, and that's why
Yeah.
his body's in pieces in my backyard.
Exactly.
No one's gonna bat an eye. Nowadays, you can't do that. That's for the justice system.
Yeah. But you also have to think about
Anyway,
like,
that was one specific example, but obviously it shouldn't be as prevalent as it used to be.
and then like especially with back then, you could get away with it. I mean, what do? Like you stab somebody, you throw the knife in the lake, and you're pretty much good for. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like back then, they didn't really do anything. Oh, this guy's dead. Oh well, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, if you like
Forensics
follow
wasn't invented. Nothing. I mean, they couldn't track other than what footprints and like they'd make the little tape thing on the ground of the dead body that does nothing. Like
If you could like find an excuse to like leave town for a day, and you knew someone you didn't like was going on a hunting trip, you could just follow them, stab them in their sleep. You're not getting caught.
I was more so referring to like a duel was legal.
Yeah, especially that too.
You
It's like
literally could kill
if-
somebody legally.
if we just got drunk and got mad about a game of beer die, you could just go outside and tell everybody we're gonna attempt to kill each other real quick, and
But
that's like.
not technically how it happened, but yeah, I see your point.
But along those lines, it's not that far off. But
you
that,
needed a secondary too, so.
yeah, but pretty close. Not that far off. You can literally just go outside and have a bunch of people agree that two people are gonna kill each other or attempt to, and it's okay.
Did you know that? I think that I told you this the other day. Is it Hamilton who I was telling you
you
about?
said, no, Adams.
Okay, well, it definitely wasn't Adams. 'Cause Adams
Hamilton
denied
did
Not
do a duel
Adams.
with somebody.
It was Hamilton, wasn't it?
Was it
Hamilton
It was Hamilton.
and
Don't listen to
Hamilton's
me.
son both died in a duel
was-
using the same exact gun. He has the same exact gun.
Maybe. Kid's an idiot.
Well, Hamilton's son died first, by the way.
Oh,
And
he's an
Hamilton
idiot.
told his son not to shoot him. Told him to miss because that apparently happened more common than actually shooting somebody. And it was just like I could kill you. Both respected each other after that. Like
What?
then they worked it out. Apparently that was super common, which sounds crazy now. but
I do think
he
that-
missed him. And
The other
I
dude
shot
just
him.
nailed him.
So,
He started the Coast Guard.
Hamilton did.
The first parts of it.
That's insane.
He's not like credited for it, but he started the first like equivalent of like a fire department, but for the ocean to like get rid people that needed rescued.
Dude, that's such a crazy concept. Like, bro, you know what the ocean needs? Fire department.
Well, they just needed like a rescue service out there, but they already had fire departments. They're like, we just need one, but like not for fire and like outside, like out in the water. That's
Wonder he got shot. Bro.
It's like, dude, you're a moron, bro.
This guy's stupid.
I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see Josh is, but I'm exactly gonna tell him that next time. The Coast Guard, basically the fire department for the ocean.
Dude, they are. Tell me
Yeah.
they are the fire department for.
I made fun of him
the
one
coast.
time. I was like, "What are you gonna do? Go sit there on the beach and watch the water? Like, what do you do?" Like,
They're glorified Baywatch. Actually, they're not glorified. They're a worse Baywatch.
Yeah. Dude,
Just kidding, Coast Guard. Thanks for your support.
No, I was about to
Thanks
say
for
like
your help.
I'm gonna throw. I had a Coast Guard contract in my hand, and I was going to sign it, but
What?
Jose enlisted in the Marine Corps, and I was like, that kind of was my idea. I might as well follow through. And I wish I had
Marines
gone
are
Coast
way
Guard.
cooler.
I wish I had gone Coast Guard.
Coast Guard's easy because you just sit there.
Actually, their boot camp is apparently for like a lot of people harder than the Marine Corps, and
Probably because the people going into it. No offense, Coast Guards.
no, they get their like average their IQ's higher, obviously because the Marine Corps is full of. Their IQ's higher. The boot camp is apparently the second hardest one. It's one of the few branches that like if you like try to go straight to that branch from another branch of service, they're like, no, you have to start on day one of boot camp. Like you have to complete all of it. The Marine Corps is that way, and so is Coast Guard. Like if I were to go to the Coast Guard right now after being a Marine for 4 years, like, hey, I want to join the Coast Guard, they'd be like, cool, you're going to training day one. You're starting off at the bottom rank.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. I go to the Army and it would not be that way.
Marines, you guys are stupid, but you guys are our front line when it comes to war, aren't you? Like
Somehow.
that is the people who in the Iwo Jima pick. That's the people that they were Marines.
Well, all the Army was fighting Germany.
Well,
We were
how
over
do
there,
you,
though.
How do you tell who goes who? My granddad was Army. And he was in the Philippines.
A lot did both, but a lot more Marines did the Philippines and a lot more Army did Europe.
Why is that?
It was
Convenience.
no Marine Corps is like Marines, so
I got that.
aquatic fighting force. Army, land and seizure. So the idea is like Marines take stuff and Army like stays places.
Okay. So,
We were island
D-Day
hopping.
Marines, I'm assuming.
No, that was the Army. Because they were gonna go all the way to Germany, and they were like, yeah, we're just not going to do that.
Because they're gonna stay there.
They're gonna stay
Yeah.
there. But if you're gonna hop onto an island,
But Marines took stuff, and they hopped on an island. The D-Day invasion that's literally what
also
it
the
was.
D-Day invasion, they intentionally picked the youngest and least experienced soldiers to do it, so they could just die.
Oh, I mean,
I mean, it was literally just cannon fodder mission.
there was a
Go run that way and try not to die, and you're watching your buddies' heads turn to cantaloupes next to you.
It's not Eisenhower.
Dude, my
He was the
dad.
president. Gosh darn it, I'm blanking.
Was it? I don't know.
Oh gosh, I'm an idiot.
I actually do. I'm blanking too. My dad was dating this girl back in high school, and her dad was at D-Day, and he had a
No
bullet scar to
freaking way.
back it up. And I was like, so you ran out of that house, right? And just gave up instantly? And he was
Yeah.
like, no, I stuck with it. I'm like, how did it go? He's like, yeah, he ended up yelling at me, and I just never talked to her again.
Dang.
It's like, what a guy. That's exactly what I would have. I would have dipped instantly. I was at D-Day. Cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm gone.
Was it Roosevelt who?
No. He did like the Spanish War.
No, the other Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah.
Roosevelt
Yeah, that's
was
on
the
me.
president for D-Day, but was it him? I think it was Eisenhower who was in charge of it, though, in charge of D-Day.
Wasn't he a general? So yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, but they had a speech, right? I feel like it had to be Roosevelt because of the significance of it. They had a speech saying, if this fails, I'm taking full responsibility. I think it was Eisenhower. Go back and forth. But he had 2 speeches prepared, and it was if they succeeded, he had a speech prepared, and he also wrote a failure speech, and he was going to take full responsibility for everything that happened. Because
It was bad. It was bad.
pretty close to
put
failure.
it this way, it was bad and they won.
Yeah.
He needed to honestly do the failure speech for winning. The amount of people that died that day, nuts.
And okay, I'm somebody who listens to like a lot of historians. What do you?
I was just going to the bathroom.
Uh,
What do you need?
Nothing.
Okay.
We don't have any more soda. I was seeing if Danielle was here. And turning point as far as speeding up the war, yes, but most historians are like, we probably still win the war without D-Day. So, you know, it sucks. I feel like
Also, a lot to do with like the race to more powerful weapons that we ended up winning because we were crippling the Germans on their home front.
yeah,
If we weren't crippling them on their home front like we were, they might have beat us to
I think
bigger weapons.
it was the biggest part was land negotiations at post-war. I think winning D-Day sets up a lot more reparations on Germany than if
We didn't
the
do it.
war prolongs and
Well, that was the thing
they
too.
don't
They were
gain
getting
land.
their next big landmass was across the ocean. That's the thing. They could either go down to Africa, which they weren't having a real tough time with anyway, or they could go ahead and hop on to another giant of a nation and try to conquer them, which would have probably been his next step. So they're like, all right, so this coastline, we're like, this is it, or they're gonna hop the ocean.
Dude, I was so jaded. I was like, a world war sounds so insane, dude. They fought everywhere. Like, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, what do you think it would take for a world war to happen right now?
I genuinely don't think there can be one
You don't think so?
with the weapons that are like now like a thing.
It'd destroy the world.
Yeah, I think we just blow the world apart. That's the only reason I think World War III is probably already happening, but on like more of a technology and like cyber.
But let me ask you this. Are there just as many defensive systems as there are offensive systems? Like, a bombing raid would be harder now because we have
It
anti-air.
couldn't be done.
Yeah.
But
So, would it just be a stalemate for a
There's-
large part? Or
No,
is there
'cause
so many
like,
offensive weapons? That,
there's too many countries that have enough power to just launch enough nukes that one of them's going to get through.
Yeah.
Like, we have some stuff that's in theory built to stop nukes. Has it ever really done it to a real one that wasn't a test? No. So does it work in practicality and real use? We don't. I mean, maybe a country's actually launched a nuke and no one knows about it. But do we know for a fact? Does like the public know for a fact that a real nuke meant to kill us got stopped by these systems? No one really knows. It hasn't happened, maybe. But is that probable? Also, it's not probable. Someone probably would have found a way to leak that. So we don't know. Like, hopefully they work. On paper, they do. So I mean, I'm sure if like one country said, "Hey, we're gonna nuke this country," it's gonna happen. And I don't think we'd get into a world war where someone wouldn't press the button and be like, "Yeah, we're just gonna wipe Florida off the map." Especially like submarines too. That's a crazy thing people don't like often think about. Like I talked to someone about.
I was watching a video on them yesterday.
I talked to someone about like a country nuking another country. They're like, yeah, they gotta launch a missile all the way over and it has to not get shot down. I'm like,
No.
mm-mm.
Submarines are nuts. You're just
We gotta-
silent.
we got a call, and that they were like, yeah, they know for a fact a Russian submarine's off the coast of like North Carolina. Cool. You know what's not getting shot down before it makes contact with Camp Lejeune? Anything it fires. We're not gonna have anything on standby that's gonna stop something in a missile in a 100-mile flight from off the coast into Camp Lejeune. Nothing stopping it. Would
Even
Camp
if you
Lejeune be a
did?
target? No.
Even
But,
if you did, it would still cause a lot of damage in that time frame.
yeah, it's 100
It's
miles
too
away.
close. Yeah.
Like Camp Lejeune specifically is right on the coast. You're gonna destroy most of Camp Lejeune if you shoot that thing down.
I think really the only way for a world war to happen, I think 3 countries would have to have their mainland attacked, and that's Russia, China, and the U.S. I think any 3, there's so many allies to those countries.
It's
It was fun.
happened though in Russia. Ukraine's like attacked. them.
Yeah, but Russia initiated it. I would say like if Ukraine went in and attacked Russia first, I think the biggest one's the U.S. I think if anybody were to try
Yeah,
to
if anyone
attack the US,
tries to invade the U.S., we're going to start the end of the world.
we would start, but we have so many allies that would back us.
It'd be more of like, hey, you have like a choice. Like you just became friends with them, or you help us.
Well, yeah, and well, like 2 off the bat is like the UK and Canada. I think without even flinching, they declare war on whoever attacks the US.
They better. They got to think about it too. What happens when they don't?
And that's my point.
Yeah, they're like a bunch. Their economy starts to shut down instantly
And
because we're gonna just not do anything for them at all.
And I would say similar to if they were to be attacked, I think US would step in a lot quicker than.
I think if someone attacks mainland Canada, like
Canada's
I'm getting
for sure.
on a plane within 48 hours. Same thing with the UK. If someone lands in the UK and it's like a legitimate other country attacking them, I'm getting on a plane within 48 hours.
I also think in order for the U.S. to be attacked, it would have to be the combined military forces of both China and Russia. I don't think one of them would be capable of getting anywhere near the U.S.
Ukraine proved that Russia is not going to be anything close to remotely successful.
It's almost impossible to get to the U.S.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time. There's one historical way that has been proven by statisticians that could possibly work, and last
through
time it was
Canada?
tried. It was through Alaska.
But through Canada.
Yeah, you have to go down through Alaska.
Yeah.
I mean, through Canada, then eventually get to like Washington, and
Yeah.
that's the only statistical way you stand a chance.
People don't know if people realize this. Alaska is far.
Yeah.
Like in order to get to the U.S. from Alaska, you have to go through all of Canada. You can't just get there.
Yeah. Well, that's what ended up killing them. It was
Just the cold?
it wasn't the cold. It was the people there.
Oh, in Alaska. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, they just hired a bunch of like hunters and were like, "Hey, we'll pay you to go kill like people that don't speak English out in the mountains. If they don't speak English and it sounds like it's not from here, 'cause these guys don't know anything. They're hunters in Alaska. They probably didn't know who the people were. They're like, hey, if they don't look American, kill them.
If you don't know them because they're not your cousin, then kill them because everybody
in
knows
Alaska,
each other.
actually, at one point there was a serial killer. He would kidnap people, throw them in the woods, and hunt them for sport.
Yeah, I watched the whole documentary on him.
Yep.
Kind of lit, honestly. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he could have just like offered people enough money and people would have signed
Especially
up.
up there, they'd be like, sure, why not?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be hard pressed if he offered me like a mil. He's like, yo, you just have to not die.
1v1 me, man.
1v1 me, don't die. $1 million
But-
if you win.
The people he would pick up is mostly prostitutes, so it was very hard to track them, I believe.
Yeah,
That's historically like most serial killers, right?
Well, yeah,
yeah.
mostly it's...
You pay them and they consensually get in whatever you're in, and then leave with you to go wherever you pick. Kind of makes them an easy target. Honestly, it's like the most dangerous profession.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just that statistically speaking, what I saw. Like around the world, the most dangerous profession to be in is a escort.
That we're calling them now?
Also nicer than a whore.
It's a prostitute.
Yeah. There's a middle ground there.
I picked one or the other.
Sex worker, prostitute, escort.
Sex workers, you can do that safely. You can be a sex worker safely.
I don't know anything about any of these professions. I didn't know there's a difference between any of them.
It depends. There's some higher end ones and there's some lower end ones.
Lower end ones you can see in downtown Raleigh if you're looking around.
Yeah, we've got Joanne in Oxford.
Y'all know her name?
It's bad.
She does a bake sale every Sunday.
No, she'd bang on the window at Strong at 4 in the morning looking for food. When I worked in the
You don't make a lot of money either.
No, I worked
No,
in
no,
a bakery.
true.
She was a crackhead, so she would sell herself to get drugs, basically. So, she does, I should say. Joanne. And,
Successfully.
yeah, she's insane.
My
Shout out Joanne.
there was this cop, older cop in Raleigh. I was talking to him, and he said there was like this prostitute that like used to work down like by the warehouse district in downtown Raleigh, and she got like connected to like somebody that sold drugs and got killed, and he knew that she knew him, and he picked her up in his squad car and like brought her downtown. He was like, hey, like you're not really in trouble, and then somehow or another she had drugs on her and then admitted to like telling somebody where the guy was that got killed, so she got arrested, and they were searching her in the cell, and the she became a he really quick. It was like, dude, I had no clue.
You talk about curveball, man.
It's insane.
Not expecting that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Is OnlyFans like? Is that sex work? What's sex
I would
work?
consider it. I'd say anything that it's like you're selling part of yourself to fix somebody up sexually becomes sex work.
I
That's
think
fair.
somebody told me what OnlyFans was, but I don't remember. Is it
So it's-
porn?
So
Most
it's
of it.
like
Most of it?
so
Can
you
be.
know how like Patreon is?
Yes.
It's like that, but for nudes.
For nudes.
Or like explicit videos.
Put it
or
this way, too. You can
images.
also like talk to them. A lot of guys, I
like a
guess.
webcam girl.
Yeah,
So it's like a live stream?
It can be.
it can be. A lot of guys, they'll like message them. Like if you pay a certain amount of money, they'll like respond to you faster and stuff like that. And you can like message them for like certain stuff, what you're into or whatever.
And they'll
And
do it.
Like personally?
Yeah,
for you?
they'll film the video and send it to you. But also, I know for a fact, this is a friend of mine. He is the guy that gets texted,
Oh,
and
He's got all of them as contact info.
no. He's the employee of an OnlyFans girl. She makes the content. He talks to the people.
Oh.
that's really not that I would ever do this. That's really smart.
I know it is really
That is
smart.
very smart.
He makes good. He's a Marine. He just while he's at work, he responds to people. I saw him do it. I was like, why are you on OnlyFans? I was like, dude, you gotta be better than that, bro. He goes, no. I'm not like a subscriber. Like I am one of them. And I was like, whoa.
I am one of them.
And I was like, I know there's guys that like are on there making their own stuff, and it's
There's
just
guys on it?
Yeah.
for like gay dudes, and I guess some women are into it. I'm sure it's like a minority, but I was like, I never would have pegged you for that, buddy. And he goes, nah. He's like, wait, I'm not. It's not me. The pictures aren't me. The pictures are a girl. I'm just the middleman. And I was like, I kept asking. I was like, what do you mean middleman, bro? Like, explain it. He goes, when you're texting her, you're texting me. And I was like, dude, he pulled up the text. It was the most down bad messages I've ever
Oh,
seen.
gosh.
And he's like, he just sits there and laughs at it. He's like, this guy's disgusting. He'll send back something like, he's like
Dirty dog.
he's like flirting with him and stuff. And he's like, another one popped up. It was so mind boggling. I saw another message pop. It was like, OnlyFans from like Patrick messaged you, and it was like something. He was like, it like said it had been a while. And he literally like clicks on it, missed you, daddy, and like sent that back and kept going. I was like, brother, stop.
So, is it only like one person on the screen, or is it multiple, or?
So it's an account. So I mean, if you could have like, if you and a friend want to do things together and sell it, you could. It's not like there are no rules. It's just
I don't think I understand this at all, but it's fine. I don't know.
there's also non like OnlyFans I guess is the most popular one. But there's non like sex stuff on there.
Yeah.
Like you know,
But
Patreon.
They just stand there. I don't
Like-
understand this at all now.
So
I
if
think
you
I'm
wanted
more
a
confused.
personal coach, like to coach you in something, like if you want to get better at advertising, and you want to hire a coach,
Oh, there's like
yes, like non-sex stuff, like Patreon.
And people use it
Yeah.
for that
Whoa.
reason?
There's a very
I'm sure-
slim margin.
I'm sure it's a slim margin. They OnlyFans, the company likes to advertise that. Is that what really goes on? No.
No.
Patreon.
This
I-
is
if you-
Snapchat, wasn't it?
What?
like,
The original purpose of
Yeah.
Snapchat? Yeah.
So it's in the long run, is OnlyFans gonna be like a marketing tool for
No.
like a Udemy? Take our class on OnlyFans.
that's what Patreon is. Patreon is the exact same thing,
Yeah.
just with less.
Being a party at a Patreon account.
It's
for a podcast.
Can people? It's like they subscribe, and they can like message you and see different stuff. I don't know much about it.
I don't know.
The only thing I know about OnlyFans is that one guy who walked me through it, and I was like, that is wild.
I've never been on it, obviously, but I'm a girl, so I know probably more about it. Like, I mean, girls will pop up on my Instagram all the time, like, this is how much money I make on OnlyFans, blah, 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 and all this stuff.
I get that.
How
too.
much that making?
Dude, it's my
It's insane.
my buddy. Put it this way, he just messages $3K a month. He just messages. He messages up.
Man,
He
he's
messages
on
and like
OnlyFans.
he'll send the pictures to him too, because he
Oh,
has
yeah.
all of her stuff saved on his phone, and he can just message it over to him.
I'll post my soccer highlights on OnlyFans.
Dude, I'm subscribing instantly. Can also be free. Because the account he runs, there's a free half of it and a non-free half of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to pay money usually?
Yeah.
Almost all of them, to just see any of it, you have to pay money. Then you pay more money to talk to them, and you pay more money for like personalized stuff.
Yeah. Nah, I was gonna say no offense to the guys who have it, but you can take offense. How down, like, bro?
Yeah,
How much do you need to see that?
yeah. Also, the argument I had with this guy too was like, these people are like, so they're out here paying for this like one girl's / your attention.
Yeah.
On another note, if they're gonna go down this road and be looking at something on a screen, crazy thing, it's all free on Google. Why are they paying you $50 for your specific stuff? It's free. Like in today's world, you could just Google anything and something will pop up.
North Carolina put a ban on it, didn't they?
Yeah,
Or-
that doesn't mean you still can't though. So trust me, the people I work with, I found out instantly that there was a ban. Everyone walked into work angry, and I was like, why is everyone in a bad mood? They're like, they banned porn in North Carolina. And I was like, is it actually working? And they're like, no. You just gotta know what to look up. And I was like, yeah, of course.
I think it was my boy Al Mohler was talking about it. It was one of the political people I watch. Was talking about the ban. I know Ben Shapiro was talking about whether or not it should be legal or not. Whether or not it should be legal. Like porn. I don't remember what he said.
I think people can do whatever they want. I'm good. If other people want to stare at a screen, and I guess.
Yeah, I think my opinion on laws is like if it doesn't affect anybody else, then
Yeah, if some girl wants to make money, and some dude wants to stare at a screen,
yeah. Here's my thing.
not
with
my
like,
problem.
OnlyFans, and let's go have a women perspective on this. What are you doing?
I was scratching the fan off the table and listening.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sure. Bad on the girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think even
Worse on the guys.
guys.
Worse on the guys.
For
5.
even making
Five.
that an option for the girls, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's,
like,
I'm on board with that. The guys are the worst part, and they're also all like.
Same thing with the porn industry. Like horrible on the guys for making this an industry. It's
Yeah.
not an industry if it's not for men.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, there are women, but that's such a small minority.
Yeah.
And the probably the minority of women that got into it probably got introduced to a guy. It
Yeah.
was like, hey, like, I'm into this, and
I
they
mean,
were
a
like,
lot of
"Why
times
not?"
sometimes it's like a prostitute and a pimp that gets, kind of introduces her to it. So like I know a lot of prostitutes nowadays, like in like small towns and stuff.
We still got prostitutes?
What?
We still got prostitutes in this world?
Brother, what?
Sorry, I meant pimps.
Oh,
Pimps? Yeah.
Still a thing?
Um,
in Spain, it's like a legal industry. I saw
Yeah.
them. They had a brothel. I walked by and there was a bunch of like interesting looking women standing outside this building, and I was like, yeah, what is that? And then like, of course, I complete disclaimer. I promise I'm not lying. I went nowhere near that. I was like, that's actually gross. But a bunch of people I were with, other Marines, saw that building. Were like, I know what that is, and sprinted over to it.
Oh gosh.
And it's just you walk in. There's a dude at the front, and they introduce you to everybody, pay him the money.
That is fascinating.
It was wild to see, and also, I think it's like a Europe thing in general. People, I guess, in like the U.S., especially like older people, people are so loose with their sexuality. Europe is another animal.
Yeah, they're worse over there, aren't they?
Like there were like sex shops on like every street corner.
That's insane.
I mean, those weren't like the same thing. Like you walk in there and it was just like clothes and objects for sale. Because those we went into because I was like, this is funny. The only thing that got creepy was like I walked in. It was like the same as you go to like an Adam and Eve store somewhere around here,
No.
or like it's borderline like Victoria's Secret, just with like a couple extra appliances you could buy.
I have no clue what's in an Adam and Eve store. You made it sound like you just go. Like, no, I have no clue what you're
Well,
talking
like
about.
obviously, like I'm just going to an Adam and Eve store, but like
You have a gist of what they sell.
I have zero clue. I've always wanted-
Plastic penises.
That's just the entire store.
No.
The building's huge.
That is imagine
How
that in
big is
Victoria.
that penis?
Dude, they got some nuts ones. Dude, especially
Actual nuts.
don't I went to.
But a pal.
That was actually a good one. That was actually, dude, my boss finds it like hilarious because we get our rooms inspected by like officers all the time. So he went in there and bought a bunch that'll like stick to a wall. And he has them stuck all over his room.
That's
And
funny.
this officer walked in. Oh, and he goes, "Hey, sorry, someone's pointing at you." And he turned his head, and one smacked him in his head that was on his fridge.
we had a kid. I was not a part of this, but we had. So this was 2022. So I was a freshman at Liberty, but I came home that weekend or something like that. And Charlie's class, Charlie and some other people wanted to do a senior prank with some of our friends that went to a different school. So they wanted to do
Does
it.
that work?
It's KVA though, so there's like 12 of
Oh.
them. There's literally 12 in their graduating class. So Chandler was like, "Hey
There's some
guys,
small schools in this world.
yeah, like hey guys, you want to go on our senior prank with us?" Charlie, Jake Carrington, already off to a bad start.
Watch your feet. We're name dropping.
I am, and then some
Always
other
wanted to
people.
Use that phrase.
Some other people I don't really want to name. I literally stayed in a parking lot in a church down the street. I was the getaway driver.
Oh, I've heard this.
Yeah, dead serious. So they break into the school and they go in the back and they start cheesing things and like writing on the walls. Somebody got a dildo and stuck it to one of the chalkboards.
It's just as fun.
And
It's comedy.
apparently, for some reason, they couldn't get it off of the chalkboard. So they just had to take down the entire chalkboard when the teachers came in there the next day. Because they couldn't get it off.
That's just good comedy.
And so the cheese, they also couldn't get off of anything. So the seniors almost didn't graduate because of it. But the cops got called, obviously, because the alarm went off in the school.
They're stupid. Never mind.
And no, they're very stupid. And then there's a specific someone standing there with a bandana on and a Vance Charter Knights lacrosse shirt. And I'm like, oh, way to go. Like, they
They're coming straight
Like
to your school.
what? and I'm like, you're literally an idiot. Like, how, you're on security camera. And I
Just
told him
narrowed
that
down
when he
the-
got back.
They narrowed
Just
down.
narrowed it down to 20 guys.
You're 6'4". Like, dude, you're not.
Narrowed it down to 5 guys.
Like,
Probably.
there's him and Johnny. Only 2 options. And so it's like,
Dude, he's kind of making it look like
How
Johnny. Something
Give
else.
that jet sweatshirt to Johnny the next day.
Dude, that sweatshirt, dude, the shoes, every piece of clothing I have is in his laundry that night.
Throw it in his locker on the way out.
Throw
so
dildos in his locker.
It's actually genius.
Yeah,
Throw it in some, because then they see it on camera and they would just assume it's your locker.
Johnny don't have glasses.
Huh?
Johnny doesn't have glasses. No, he got on glasses.
That's what. He's already retarded because he obviously didn't think about this.
Yeah, so, no, but they came back,
You gotta
and I'm
figure it
like,
out, okay.
I was like,
I figured it out.
"You're wearing that shirt?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "You're the dumbest person I've ever met." I said, "You are stupid." He said, "Oh my god, I didn't even think about that." Best part, his dad's a cop. So I'm like, dude, if anyone needs to think about this,
He
it's
shows
you.
home to his dad just standing in the driveway like, bro. Security camera.
And his dad asked him, he said, "Do you know what happened to KVA?" He was like, "No, I don't know nothing that happened to KVA. I'm not what you're talking about."
Dude pulls a dildo out of his back pocket.
Pulls the whole chalkboard out.
Dude, that's the whole chalkboard and just sitting there.
So, well, they see or hear something. They realize the cops are coming. So they call me, "I need you to come here." So I get in the car, I fly up there, and then I pass a cop.
They would have been
Like,
cooked. The moment I saw a cop car, this became a them problem.
I was like, I pass a cop car and I'm like, I'm gonna keep driving. So I keep driving and I turn around in the driveway and I come back, and there was a car that had driven them up to the school. And so I'm like, I guess they all got in the car. So I get back to the church where we were meeting at, and they were like, "Yeah, no, you didn't get there in time." I'm like, "Well, you called me and the cops were literally basically there. Like, I don't know what you want me to do." But that was an interesting night.
So they got caught?
Nope.
Oh.
The seniors did, obviously, because it was a senior prank.
You got
But-
12 guys.
But literally, but the
It's all 12 of them on tape.
Vance
Shout them
Charter,
out.
1, 2, 3.
the Vance Charter people did not get in trouble or anything like that.
None of
think
our
Jake
classes
was there.
did senior pranks, did they?
We didn't.
I didn't show up to school enough to do one.
Same. You know for a fact I did.
I think Charlie's grade did one, so it's a year below me. But we didn't.
Your
do
class
it.
seems like a class that would have done one.
My class? Because we could get it, like, the teachers would have been fine with it.
My class?
Same with
Dude,
your
they would have
class.
loved it if we did.
Yeah.
We just didn't care enough.
I feel like, I actually thought of this the other day, we should have all drove to Miss House's house and just stood in her driveway as she was leaving for school. Like, made her, like, signs. Like, she was going to, like, a sporting event. Like, let's go, house dog.
Hey, we thought about going to where Mr. T was staying, like blocking his driveway, so he just couldn't get to class. So we were all late.
So we were all
Because, dude, I had him. I don't know how
Go
this
in
happened.
out 4 more tardies.
Dude, I had math class first period with Mr. T 3 years straight. I don't know how that kept bouncing around to give me and him first period. Designed for failure. Me in first period. I'm never there for first period. My worst class, math. The only person that was possibly going to give me a break was Mr. T, so I was the only good part in this. But
Dude, I remember
I just slept every period. Every single one.
trying to get... When you got kicked off the soccer team...
You're just looking at that red grade like, ooh.
No, man. When you got kicked off the soccer team, the next day, Jose and I went up to Mr. T. We're like, is there anything we can do? He was like, bro, like, I've tried curving. It's great. Like, it ain't getting up. And so, like, maybe within a week, we had the valograms.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And I was standing the closest to the computer, and it was in your class that we were doing the
Yeah,
vallogram.
I remember.
Dude, I look at that screen, that thing is bright red. I mean, like, I was literally like, whoa, like, what is that? And I looked closer, I was like, bro, like,
Dude, it was every single year, first period.
we weren't getting that up.
I remember the test, bro. I got a 32. I was like, yep, I'm done for soccer this year.
My sister's ex-boyfriend. I wasn't at our actual graduation because I had my private graduation, so my grandma could be there. So, for our big graduation, my sister's ex-boyfriend was failing a class. At graduation, in his cap and gown, he walked up to Mr. Hall, our history teacher, handed him a bunch of papers, and that was the only reason they let him walk. Otherwise,
It's so sick.
they would have let him. He handed him a bunch of papers that he had done, but they told him they had to get done by graduation, or he wasn't going to graduate.
Handed it to him
no,
on the stage.
dude,
while it-
Mr. T, other than saying the exact words of "you failed," has told me I failed senior year. He just passed me. In every insinuated way, he has told me, other than the exact words. I know for a fact I did not pass that year. That final exam, I looked at it and went, that's a bunch of numbers, bro. I just guessed my way through the whole thing. And I'd put it this way, every other question I'd walk up there to him and be like, "Yeah, I need some help with this one." And he's like, "What do you need help with?" I'm like, "Yo, where do I start?"
Insane. Dude, insane. You still got a 50 because you did it every other question?
Dude, I promise you there was multiple times he just was like, "You plug the numbers into this." And he would just hand me a piece of paper with like the entire thing on
The
it.
entire formula?
Yeah. I was like, dude, thanks.
Wow.
I was like, dude, he was so clutch. And then,
Yeah. Sorry.
no, it was Mrs. Houghton too. Because I, obviously English and math, I was horrendous. The other classes I was like C's and B's, like high C's and B's. English and math was like, it's probably a low C or an F. Like,
I
whether you're
love
on.
Hal, dog.
But she was actually pretty cool with me for some reason. I don't know why.
She's a chill person. People, she gets a bad rep.
She does. I don't know how I passed.
She's dope.
I definitely
Shout
her
out
class.
Hal.
I know for a fact she would have failed me if I'd like failed.
Haney. Sorry.
Yeah, Haney now. Excuse me.
Congrats.
Miss Haney. Congrats.
Oh, did I meet her? Who?
Houghton.
Oh, you said House. About
Name at house.
That was Hal would have failed me. But
And she wouldn't even let you try.
yeah, no.
So, bro, like, you're done.
Yeah.
she liked me. I liked her a lot. She was cool.
Yeah, how's Diggity Dog? She's good.
Her and Clark.
Clark Daddy.
I'm a big fan. But
Clark?
no,
Not a fan of Clark?
No.
What?
not a big fan. But
How?
Miss Haney though, she a real one.
That fail Spanish or something?
No, I don't feel. Dude, how do you fail Spanish, bro? The answers are all in Google.
I remember somebody in my class cussed in his class once. And he was like, he was like at this point, like, I don't want to turn this in. But he was like, dude, I have to. He was like,
Did you just like scream it?
yeah, scream the F word. And he
Oh,
was
okay.
like, bro. And the guy was like, I didn't say it. He goes, but you did.
But like I can't. I was about to say Mr. T. Again, first period, so many years in a row, and it was like the lower level math, so it was delinquents of friendship. But like there was multiple times I walked in, and like just like accidentally said I never like screamed the F word or anything, but like he for sure heard. Like I know for a fact I looked at a test and you're like, this is some bullshit. So I remember I was walking back. Put it this way, dude. Tests were a group effort in that class. Like, he didn't care a whole lot if we're looking at each other. He also knew I couldn't understand any of it, so if I'm looking at someone else's test, I'm just as confused.
Dude.
But like, I remember I was talking to Sam during a test, and I was like, dude, I have no damn clue what's going on in this whole class, bro. I'm lost in the sauce. This is bullshit. And then I look behind me, and he's right there. And I was like, yeah, I'm just a little lost. And he was like, sounded like it. Not that, Mr. T.
For calc, maybe I think it was pre-calc.
I never got anywhere near a calculus book.
Dude, we had a test, and bro, I think I got a 27, Jose got a 23, and Jose was like, is this the lowest grade you got on this test? He was like, I had a geometry student get a 9. I was like, single digits? A 9?
I pulled a single digit out.
It was your class. It was your geometry class. Some kid got a 9.
Good chance that was me. Dude, I don't remember it. Dude, I'll put it this way. I got a 0 on a test.
Like, you took the test?
No, like, they
zero?
handed me the paper and I said it's not worth trying.
I mean, yeah.
Well, in hindsight, I paid Rusi to do my chemistry final exam.
Have her sit down.
Dude, see, he already took the class, so in my head, he had better odds than me. And put it this way, this is the worst part of the whole thing. Like, obviously, since I paid him to do it, this was an at-home thing. I could have just used my phone.
You pay somebody to take an at-home test?
Failed it. Kid failed it. Dude, chemistry and geometry, I don't know what it is. I was worse at that than I was at math. I don't know what it was. Those two classes, not one spark hit my brain.
You say chemistry and geometry? Is geometry not included in math?
Yeah, but like the rest of the other math classes. It was like,
Chemistry is just science math.
yeah. So I was like, yeah.
Chemistry is the dumbest thing
I
ever.
hated it so
I like
much.
It's so
chemistry.
stupid.
They were like, for science this year you're doing chemistry, and I was like, oh, there's no way that counts as science.
I mean,
And they were like, it does, and I was like, so I have 2 math classes, first and second period, and they were like, yeah, and I was like, well,
yeah.
junior year barely.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I have embalming chemistry, but that's basically the same thing, and that's literally just calculating the amount of formaldehyde solution you have in it. So it's not like you're having to sit down and figure
For sure,
out.
you can try it. There's probably an online calculator.
There
for
is.
that.
But I
How
mean,
big the dude is via how much liquid I need to put in him.
yeah, and
Make
it's
him
kind of just
not
based
rot.
off of like, it's honest to God, you don't need to do the formula. You literally look at them, you're like, he's got some jaundice, let's throw some Johnny Balm in there. Like, it's literally just completely based off of visuals. Like, don't get me wrong, there's specific quotas you have to meet, but textbook-wise, you're supposed to learn the embalming formula.
But if you wing it in reality, you're probably gonna be fine.
Everyone wings it. I wing it all the time. It's really not that complicated, but
Make sure my body goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Don't let people be winging me.
Put wings on you.
Dude, realistically, I'm showing up in pieces. Realistically, I want to be in a couple boxes.
show up. I need you to stitch this back together, please.
My dad's gonna show up crying with like a trash bag. Can you put them back together?
Can. No problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like I'm gonna actually have 2 left feet.
Alright.
My bad. I made that way too dark. It's all
No.
good.
The left
I've
feet
seen
joke's funny though, because we say so bad at soccer that he's 2 left feet instead of a right foot.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna actually.
We had a woman that was a long bone donor. So that's when they take all of these bones.
That's a thing.
Yeah. All your leg and arm. Take them out. So
No.
she unfortunately drowned. And so she was a donor, and
How could you
because
have bones.
because she was so young, because she was so young, they did do. They took a lot of stuff from her, basically. So a lot of her organs, they took her eyes, if I'm not mistaken, and so they took her bones. Yeah, they do that a lot more than you'd expect.
I'm about to change my organ donor thing. I'm about to specify.
So
stuff
you
on there.
can
I
actually online. If you go online to the DMV website, you can specify what they can
Like
take
my organs.
because I did that.
Yeah, I'm about to do
Yeah.
that. Like there's certain things. If
You can take my
No.
spleen and my liver, and that's it.
You can-
you can't take anything else.
you can take everything that's under the skin.
Yeah.
And I'm counting anything that you can see when you look down at a body. I want still there. Eyeballs, that. But
What else
honestly,
are
my
they gonna
bones.
take?
I wouldn't mind if they want to take my bones. I can. But realistically, how I foresee myself dying, bones aren't really going to be an option.
So like, they took everything from her, basically, as much as they could get, and she was at a medical examiner's office in Washington. Medical examiner's office did a horrible job. Basically, just cut her up. Like, felt horrible for the whole thing. Like, it was just not good. But because she didn't have any bones, they basically replaced it with PVC pipe. So, like, when you go and, like, get them or whatever, they're stiff, but they're not, like, anatomically correct. So this is her foot, right? So her foot would be like this. So when I picked her leg up, and it did this. So, like, my foot's down here.
Just jump up. Yeah.
That is one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
It
And,
not-
like, I've seen a lot. That
them not
bothered
having
me.
eyes.
That didn't bother me, no.
I'm not gonna lie. The eyes. If I
Well,
looked at a body
a
without
times,
eyes,
a lot of times they'll just take the cornea, so the whites are still there.
That might be
Worse.
Worse.
Yeah.
worse.
That's what,
It got
that's
so
what
much
they
worse.
do majority of the time. If they take your eyes, they
It got
just take the
extensively
cornea.
worse, actually.
Yeah, they'll take the cornea and everything.
It's a
in there
closed
out.
casket anyway.
Wait.
No shot.
Mhm.
I'm fixing my organ donor thing. I'm not letting myself be a free for all.
I don't know enough about
Depends on
eyes.
where you die though. A lot because if not to
If I die in Yemen, I don't think it matters.
like outs to hospital, but I mean it's obviously like one of the best medical programs in the nation. So like Duke, a lot of times they'll take
Shout
it as
out
soon as they
Duke.
can.
To take your what?
So
They'll
if
take
I,
it as soon as anything as soon as they can
So,
because they have a organ donor
realistically,
place right there.
I only drive old beater cars and I ride motorcycles. Good chance I die in this area. They're gonna take
You
me
have to
Duke
die
and
in a
take my
specific
eyeball.
way though to be an organ owner or organ donor. Like, you can't just, like, if you die in a wreck, they're probably not going to take anything from you because you're so damaged.
If I die in a wreck, like my neck snaps, my organs were still working.
Yeah, but they won't because they don't know how much internal damage was caused in the wreck.
Oh
They
shit,
can't give
dude,
somebody-
I'm probably not taking my organs
Yeah,
anyway.
they can't give
that's a good
somebody a
point.
liver
I think
that
You could have
has with
punched your
scar
lip.
tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they could like check that easily enough. Then.
Not enough time to harvest it and have it work. They could take it for research, absolutely. But
As long as they don't take my eyes for research.
they take eyes a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
they-
shock.
now that I know that,
Well, I mean, you get
this is 100.
contacts.
This is 100% dead. Hey, sir, remind me in like 4 hours to make sure they don't take my eyeballs when I die. I'm dead. I'm figuring that out. That's not.
You can
that's
go on
not
the
a
DMV
meme.
website and you can change what they can take from you and your organ donor.
That's literally the only thing. They genuinely they can take my bones. I don't
So
care.
for your eyes, anyway, they put caps over them when
I
you
could
die.
give two shits. My eyes are staying in my
Yeah.
head.
So like,
Those are
even
rotting.
if they took your corneas, hypothetically, we fill it in with embalming putty, put the caps over it. The caps have little spikes on them. They'll keep your eyelids in place, and then we glue the eyes. So
No.
All right. Well,
That's enough of that. No. That will not be happening to me.
what, the eye thing or
The
all
eye
of it?
thing. No. I've been an organ donor since like the day I could have.
I know, but like, you don't mind like the caps and like the glue, right?
No, I don't do eye stuff at all.
Okay.
I can't. That's the thing. I want to be an EMT, but I can't do eye stuff. So if I get called out and they got a needle in their eye, like that's tough luck for you, buddy. I'd call another guy. Like, they're gonna get a pat on the forehead, and I'm gonna run, and then probably puke.
all right. Anyway,
You wrapping up?
yeah,
All right.
because it said
We're probably at like 2.5 now.
1:56. Is it? It's been saying having trouble connecting for about an hour now, so I don't know if we've gotten the past hour. YouTube's got it though.
For sure.
Oh, perfect timing. No internet connection.
Nailed it.
Brutal.
Shut down the whole site.
You doing soccer?